Yo, what up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for dropping by, man. Today we got a banger, man. We are about to talk about, being a successful man, riding around in an expensive car, high-end luxury car, something like a Lamborghini Urus. And we're going to talk about the situations that I've been seeing, that I've been coming across for a very long time, too. For, as a matter of fact, these gold digger pranks and women that like to use men, like, for their money. So, what would you do for, to get to know someone like this, a baddie? Now, when I seen the video, the guy dressed up in a McDonald's uniform. He wanted to test a woman, right? To basically see if she would take the bait. Now, this was actually a clever idea to actually find out if she was real or not. And I've been seeing these for a while, so I've been coming up with an idea like, how am I going to approach something like this and mix it in with my motivation, with which being a successful man, godly man, spiritual man, and knowing how to choose a wifey material versus a gold digging Jezebel. Like, how am I going to mix that in and get people to understand not to be a beta simp, not to be letting, your pockets, try to let money buy love, basically. Because we already know money can't buy love. It can buy your materialistic lifestyle, your desires, it can fulfill that part. But inside of your heart, the things that you want fulfilled, only God can do that. True love, and finding the woman for you that's truly meant to be for you, for yourself, and not your bank account. Now, back to the story. This was an awesome story, by the way. So he actually pulled up on her, approached her. Hey, how you doing? They met. He talked to her, chopped it up a little bit, got to know her. Now by him approaching her in a McDonald's uniform and you're approaching the baddie, what do you think is going to come to your mind? What do you think is going to come to her mind? Excuse me. So the first thing that's going to come to your mind, right, is she ain't going to give him the time of day. Now, no, she don't know that this guy have a Lamborghini parked over there. She don't know that. She's like, oh man, I wish, she would probably know that first, right? You would probably say, well, if she's seen that first, of course, she was going to give him the time of the day. But the fact that he actually was dressed up in a McDonald's uniform and approached his baddie to see what her mind was, to see if she was a gold digger or a Jezebel. And she wasn't. She had her own job. She was a nurse and everything, And so that's how sometimes guys that are successful, that's how you have to come off. You can't come off leading with your wallet, because now the girl is going to want you for a materialistic lifestyle, even if she finds out later that you do have it. But when you come off like that and you don't actually get to meet somebody natural, normal, because if you're coming off with a wallet, how do I know she's going to go through thick and thin? Because if I don't buy her everything she wants, she's still going to leave, right? Because that's all she look at you as, an ATM. So I don't want a woman looking at me like an ATM, especially when you're trying to put God first, trying to be spiritual, you're trying to run a good foundation, a household. You don't want a woman to just look at you as a bank account. You're just another number to her. You're just another guy in line just waiting for your turn. Because these baddies, listen, you can't have that beta simp mentality. I would do anything for this woman, bend over backwards for her, and she won't do anything for you, because society have ruined the dating market due to social media, society, politics, due to these women empowerment movements like the feminist movement. They're pretty much against everything the man stands for. They're trying to emasculate the masculine man out here. So I felt like this was a way to spread the message and help people understand, if you're self-improving and you are building yourself up, not to bend the knee to nobody but God. Only submit to God, because you don't want to get through off your purpose, self-improving, your mental health. You're so busy focusing on a woman, which you shouldn't be. You should be focused on God, your purpose, your goals, and your dreams. Self-improving your life, working out, eating healthy, going hard every day at your goals and dreams. You know, the woman, you can worry about her. You can worry about her if she wants to become a part of your life and a part of your journey. That is awesome. If she will accept you putting God first, your purpose first. But if you put the woman above everything, that's when most men lose at. That's where most men get divorced at. You know, because they don't put God first. They don't build on their purpose. They don't self-improve their life. And by him meeting her like this in a McDonald's uniform, which is, I just thought that was a clever idea when I seen that. When I first seen another guy did it, I think he was in a Ventador or something like that. And he was like, well, he was just lying to her. He was just telling her that, hey, I own franchises. That's how I can afford this, because I own McDonald's. But at the end, he told her the truth that, hey, I day trade, and you know, I do that right there. That's how I'm able to be financially free, you know, and buy anything I want, the house I want, the car I want, because I day trade. And so he still took her out to dinner. He still wanted to get to know her, because he said, first of all, he found out that she had her own career as well, that is definitely a turn on to a successful man, knowing that he don't have to basically financially support her even in the dating phases with everything. The first thing she's looking for is help. You know, if you don't have it, if the woman don't have it together, and what if she comes with kids? Now you got to take care of her and her kids and support her needs, and you got to wine and dine her, take her out on dinner dates. Then you got to go shopping every weekend or every other day, you know. So we have to be mindful of these things. Like I pay real close attention to that. You know, I'm looking and I'm like, that's a clever idea. Get to know somebody natural first, just normal, just a normal day. You're out hanging out, and you bump into somebody that you're interested in. You approached him. He approached her like a gentleman. You know, chopped it up with her, spitting game to her. You know, spitting, you know, straight facts. You know, just, you know, a straight shooter. Hey, you look good. How you doing? I like to get to know you. Can we exchange numbers? Meet up later on or whatever. You know, just a straight shooter. You know, you don't got to play no games. You got to beat around the bush and be afraid, because the only thing they can say is yes or no. And I think a lot of dudes have that insecurity in themselves. If I'm not making six figures, because it's all about social media that made it this status where you have to have looks, money, or status. And even when you do have that, the goalpost still moves, because even when you do get her, she always sometimes thinks she can do better than you. And she's already doing good. So now she want to go do great or excellent, that's rare. That's the top. After a woman meets a good dude, after that, she's looking for the top 6 to 10% of guys out there, which is rare, because they're either on business deals, they're at home with their wives, they're out, you know, flying the world, traveling the world, you know, living their best life. They're not, you know, sitting around waiting on a gold digger or a Jezebel to come mooch off them. That's not what a successful guy is doing, and that's what the world have made everybody look like a celebrity on social media. Everybody is chasing the same thing on social media. Everybody chasing that money and fame. Like, and if we can't coexist together in the same room and talk about these things and just be real with people, how can we grow as a society? We can't. It's going to be impossible, right? You're going to have one side, the man against the woman, and the woman is against the man. And that's what society have become, because it's become so hard out here due to inflation. You know, it's almost like a recession. It's hard out here. The cost of living have skyrocketed. So, of course, a baddie like this is going to, not her per se, not this woman that I'm talking about, but a lot of women out there, they only bring looks to the table in their box. But they ain't bringing nothing financial. They ain't bringing no emotional stability. The man has to put God first, be the leader, protector, and provider, and be the emotional stability for her. That is a lot of weight on a guy's shoulder, especially if it's a young guy. That is a lot of weight on a man's shoulders. And here I am being a successful man riding around in a Lamborghini doing day trading. And then you think I'm going to downgrade to a Jezebel or a gold digger? Oh, you got life messed up. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way, bro. Like, why would you think that would even be okay to do something like that? Well, that would be insane to think, hey, man, I'm just going to give up everything for this baddie. all she has to do is stay at home and have kids. Now, in her mind, that's probably can get boring. If she's not a godly woman, her mind, see, in the word, it says, out of mind is the devil's playground. If I quoted that properly, but basically that's what it's saying. Somebody sitting around, they can start thinking demonic things if they're not a godly woman. So if you're out here, you got a worldly woman, this is what can happen. Even if you're giving her everything, you would probably say, well, man, that's pretty messed up. I do everything for this girl. I buy everything and she don't appreciate nothing because she don't bring nothing to the table. She don't feel like she's a part of nothing. She don't have emotional ties to anything. You pay for the house, you pay for the food, you pay for her, the kids, you take her shopping. She don't do anything. So she's not tied to anything. If she don't put in on nothing, she don't feel like she don't feel like she's a part of nothing. We're not building a team. It's not like the old days where the man can do that. Now they have so many options that they're always on social media. It have corrupted their mind. I call it brain rot. So I just wanted to touch on that, man. And because I thought this right here was a clever story for him to be dressed up in a McDonald's uniform and pretend like he owned franchises or whatever, or he works at McDonald's to see if she was going to, turn him down and shoot it down. But she was so comfortable. She didn't feel offended like some of these modern women. Like some of these Jezebels or gold diggers with their nose in the air, talking down on a man. Get out my face. You're dusty. Get out my face. You're broken, dusty. You work at McDonald's. She didn't say none of that. Nothing disrespectful. She was as nice as can be. A sweetheart. Somebody you wouldn't mind taking home to mom. This what type of girl this was. Now she might have to clean up the tight skirt because her body was banging. So it was like, okay, wait, you're gonna have to change that. But other than that, she seemed like a real kind-hearted sweetheart because she works around people all the time. So you could tell she have really good social skills. That is a good tip to look out for as well. But I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Always remember, put God first. Be on your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Self-improve. Pray fast.